On Global TV News Prime tonight, Pope Leo prays for Nigeria over Benue killings. In business, federal government engages Chinese firms to revive Ajaokuta steel. And on the foreign scene, Israel military says intercepted 7 drones. In sports, Kamaru Usman ends 4-year drought with impressive UFC win. Hello everyone, and a very warm welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Prime tonight on Global Television. Coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Uyi Agmofwegbe, reminding our viewers that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times 276. You can download the Global TV Nigeria mobile app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our 247 broadcast. Tonight, we'll begin by telling you Pope Leo has offered prayers for victims of the fresh massacre in Benue State, where around 200 people were reportedly killed in an attack on rural communities. Delivering his remarks just before the Sunday Angelus prayer, the Pope described the violence as particularly devastating, noting that most of the victims were internally displaced persons sheltered by a local Catholic mission in Yawata Goma local government area of the state. Expressing deep concern for Nigeria, he prayed for peace and security in the country, highlighting the vulnerability of rural Christian communities in Benue State.
Many angry youths in Benue State, including Vincent Ose, popularly known as Very Dark Man, have them.
In the meantime, tension fled in Makurdi, Benue State capital, as security operatives moved in to disperse angry protesters who had barricaded the Wurokum roundabouts in protest over the ongoing killings in the state. A correspondent who is on the ground in Benue State, Felicity Indere, reports that the demonstration.
Many angry youths in Benue State, including Vincent Ose, through a protest as traffic came to a standstill as hundreds of them occupied the Wurokum roundabout. Amid their demonstration, the protesters called on President Tinubu to resign if his administration is unable to contain the worsening insecurity in the north-central region, especially in Benue State.
A lot of killings.
A lot of talks have gone on. Only last year, 500,182 people were displaced. We have 21 IDP cars in Benue. These killings won't stop. Up until this moment, nothing is being done. Why?
Other protesters also called for the stop of killings in Benue, saying their voices must be heard.
We're only crying out. It's a peaceful protest. If the governor wants to talk to us, he should come out and address us. He should come and address us, please. We are there. But if Benue State is not part of Nigeria.
Is this, and Mr. President is quiet. The governor is quiet. These people are not asking for political alphabet. They are just killing people in their sleep.
As tension escalated, security operatives eventually moved in and forcefully dispersed the protesters. Many were seen fleeing as police cleared the barricades and reopened the road to traffic. The protest was brought under control without any reported casualties, though heavy security presence remains in the area to foresee any further breakdown of law and order.
Project Serap has urged President Bola Tinubu to take strong action against the injustice surrounding the annulled June 12, 1993 presidential election. The organization called on the president to support reforms that will protect Nigeria's democracy. In a letter signed by Serap's Deputy Director Kolawole Oluwadare, the organization urged the president to set up a presidential panel of inquiry to investigate the unlawful annulment of the 1993 election and identify individuals responsible for what it described as deliberate violations of Nigerians' democratic freedoms. Two other stories for you tonight. The Joint House of Representatives Committee on Public Accounts and Public Assets has invited the Minister of Finance, Wale Edu, and the Central Bank of Nigeria, Governor Olayemi Kadoso, to appear before the House on Monday, June 16, 2025, over allegations of non-compliance with the provisions of Fiscal Responsibility Act 2007. The top government officials are also expected to answer questions on the internal control weaknesses identified in the 2021 report by the Office of the Auditor General of the Federation. In a letter signed jointly by the chairman, Ademorin Kuye, the committee asked the finance minister and the CBN governor to provide details on remittance of operating surplus to the Federation account by the Apex Bank in line with the provisions of relevant laws and regulations. The chairman of the Christian Association of Nigeria in Plateau State, Reverend Father Polycarp Lubo, is dead. It was reported that Lubo died in the early hours of Sunday at an undisclosed hospital in Jos after a brief illness following an accident last week. His death was also confirmed by a condolence statement signed by the Archdiocesan Chancellor of the Catholic Archdiocese of Jos, Daniel Gyang. Nigeria has called for the inclusion of youths in climate actions while addressing the Employment, Climate and Environment Challenge. Speaking on energy transition during a panel discussion on Global Coalition for Social Justice at the just concluded International Labour Conference in Geneva, Switzerland, Minister of Labour and People engaged in the informal biomass sector as youth unemployment remains a significant challenge. The Employment, Climate and Environment nexus is particularly critical. The Nigeria Union of Teachers, NUT, has urged President Bola Tinubu to prioritize teachers' values and welfare to make the profession more attractive to the younger generation. President of the union, Comrade Audu Amba, made the call in an interview in Abuja, urging the government to make teachers role models and recognize the teaching profession as a pillar of societal advancement. Amba criticized the current situation where teaching is being seen as what he called Hobson's choice among admission and job seekers as a last resort. The National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NACON, has commended Saudi of the Hajj rites. And now time to take you to Lagos State, where the Emergency Management Agency, LASEMA, has reaffirmed its preparedness to respond effectively to any flood-related emergency in the state. Permanent Secretary of LASEMA, Dr. Olufemi Oke-Osanyintolu, made this statement during the flag-off of the 2025 Flood-Free Lagos campaign. He said the campaign was in response to early warnings from the federal government indicating that Lagos was among states at high risk of flooding during the rainy season. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, has arrested a businessman, Eze Mokwe Chukwuebuka Christian, at the Port Harcourt International Airport for ingesting 53 wraps of cocaine while on his way to Tehran, Khomeini in Iran. This came barely 2 weeks after the operatives of the agency at the Malam Aminu Kano International Airport in Kano State intercepted a 60-year-old businessman, Chinedu Leonardo Kibo, heading to Iran with 65 pellets of cocaine in his stomach. Spokesperson of the agency, Femi Babafemi, in a statement said Ezemokwe was arrested on June the 7th while trying to board a Qatar Airways flight to Tehran via Doha. The Anambra State Police Command has nabbed 2 suspects over alleged thefts of 2 related minors at Obunoba, a Demili South local government area of the state. The State Police Public Relations Officer, SP Tochukwu Ikenga, made this known in a statement in Awka, the state capital. Ikenga said on June 12, police operatives attached to Ozubulu Division rescued the children between the age quest to revive the moribund Ajaokuta Steel Company, a key industrial asset considered critical to Nigeria's manufacturing ambitions and job creation strategy. To resuscitate the long-abandoned steel company, the government says it has commenced high-level talks with leading Chinese steel conglomerates, seeking technical expertise, financial backing, as well as industrial partnerships to return the facility to full productivity. The initiative, according to the government, is part of ongoing efforts by the Minister of Steel Development, Shuaibu Audu, who is currently leading a federal delegation on an investment drive to China to attract strategic investors and advance Nigeria's industrialization agenda. The Dangote Petroleum Refinery has announced plans to begin nationwide distribution of premium motor spirits and diesel from August 15, 2025. The company says it is deploying 4,000 brand new compressed natural gas power tankers to boost delivery capacity and improve access to fuel across the country. The offer, according to a statement released by the petrochemical company, is open to marketers, petrol station dealers, manufacturers, telecoms operators, aviation firms, and other large-scale fuel users. And now time to take you into the foreign scene where a helicopter carrying 7 passengers, the pilot included, has crashed in the northern India state of Uttarakhand, leading to the death of all its occupants. The report says 5 passengers, 1 child, and 1 crew member a residential area in Ahmedabad and killed more than 270 people. Quite sad. Those short interval, 2 very deadly hits there. Nigerian nationals currently living in India have reviewed troubling accounts of mistreatment, extortion, and police brutality, experiences that have left